Hello, Gucci Gooblers. This is your host, Michael Simpson. With Silly Linguistics, we have a very special guest on, Paula. Is that how to pronounce your name?
No,
How do I pronounce your name? No.
it's it's Paola.
Paula?
Yeah, something like that.
Paula. Paula. Okay. Okay. Well, that works for me. She's gonna teach me some Portuguese. The video quality is absolutely fantastic. So, like, this is the best video that I've ever made, obviously. And I let's begin. Will you tell us a couple phrases in teach me basically teach me some Portuguese. Get me on that Portuguese train a rolling.
Okay, so in everyday conversations, we use a lot of slangs on WhatsApp. So we tend to use terms like nowadays. Let me see, terms like chacota to make fun of somebody. So uh, we say, oh, this person is a chacota, so this person doesn't deserve your respect, basically.
Chocata.
Yes,
Chocata.
chacota.
Chacota.
Yeah,
Chacota. And what's
yes.
that
And
literally mean?
it literally means that, like, the person is a clown or something, it's not somebody you take seriously. Let me see what else that
Like me.
I. No, come on. Let me see. You're great, but
Thank you.
just saying. um,
Appreciate it.
Let me see stuff that I say. Dude is something I use, but it's not something everybody uses. Like cara,
Cara.
dude is cara, or some people use bro too, like cara. It's like veio.
Veio.
Veio is something people, I think, northeast use it more than here in the south. Um, Let me see. Mano is something people use as well, as bro or dude.
Mono.
Mano.
Mono.
Mano.
Mano.
Yeah. Mano
Mano.
is something people say a lot in São Paulo, I guess. Yeah.
I
And
love the way you just said Sao Paulo. It warms
yeah,
my heart.
São Paulo. Yeah, because for me to say Sao Paulo, like you say, it's complicated because I mean it's São Paulo. All right, let me see. Another thing people say, to make sure the other person gets what you're saying is tá ligado. So tá ligado is basically, do you get it? Like, do you get what I mean? Tá
Tá
ligado.
ligado.
Yeah,
Tá
tá
ligado.
ligado. Uh-huh.
Tá ligado. Okay. I like
It,
that one. I like that one. I feel like that it's very applicable to me because, like, as I learn more Portuguese, I'm gonna have to ask people, "Hey, tá ligado? Do you understand
mm-hmm.
me? Do you get what I'm saying?"
Yeah, it's true.
Cara.
Like you explain something and you say, mano, and then you say something in the middle, and then you end it with tá ligado, tá ligado. So that's very common. But there are people who use it entendeu as well in the end of the sentences.
Yeah, that
Like
makes sense.
I explain something to you, and then I ask you in the end, entendeu? There are people that use that a lot, and like all the time, whenever they are nervous, they will finish the sentence with entendeu or tá or né. here where I live, people use a lot of ne. I
Ne.
use, yeah, I use a lot of ne. Whenever I'm telling somebody a story, I tend to insert a lot of mess in the end, even though I'm not asking a question. I'm just it's just a way to keep on the conversation, like to show
Hmm.
that you still have something to say, but at the same time you want the person to know that you're there, telling the, I don't know how to explain. Like it's a normal conversation, and then you say net to like include the person, but not to include the person as to ask the person to say something, just to ask
Yeah.
the person to keep hearing you, you know, keep
English has the
hearing.
exact same thing. We say at the end of
Ah,
the
yeah,
sentence. We're not
yeah,
expecting them to say anything back, but we're like including them in the conversation, reminding them
yeah,
that we're still talking to them and not just
yeah,
to ourselves.
yeah. It's true. It's very similar to ne and are very similar, and there's also tipo, which is your like in English. That I tend to say a lot of like, and then I'm like, no, 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 etc. Like all the time. In
Yeah,
Portuguese, that would be the equivalent would be tipo,
cheapo.
the tipo, which would be aí tipo aconteceu isso and so on. Then that would be something similar to, and then like that happened and this happened and so on. So we say a lot of tipo in the
Cheapo.
middle. So let me see anything else. Yeah, you have ne, you have tal. So
Tao.
it's it's similar to etc. So it's usually just a filler. You don't. It doesn't have any purpose on the sentence, but we put it there anyway. So I don't know why we use tal and etc. as well. I use a lot of it etc. But people tend to use more tal than etc. It's just something not to end the sentence that way, like in a
Hmm.
more direct way. We have a lot of things that to modulate our speech, like not sound so rude and so on. So we use a lot of stuff in the middle
Yeah.
just to feel more natural. That's why I say sometimes Americans come off as rude because Brazilians they care a lot of sounding, I don't know, sounding
Formal.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
casual to people. So we don't want to come off as passive aggressive. We want person to know that we care, although most times we don't. So that doesn't make a lot of sense. Like even if you don't care about the person, you want the person to know that you care. So it's as weird as it gets for us Brazilians.
Yeah, I mean that
Um,
makes sense. That makes sense. We're so opposite. We are so casual in everyday speech. We're just like,
yeah.
yeah, what's up all the time to like strangers and like old people. We
Yeah,
don't
what's
we
up is
don't have a lot
something.
of formality.
No,
Yeah.
what's up is something that we say to people we don't know very well. Like we come to this person and say, "E aí?" That's what's
Okay.
up. E aí?
Yeah.
And then and that's something the person is not going to reply like saying, "Oh, I'm good," and you, etc. It's not like a greeting. It's something that you say "E aí?" and then the person replies "E aí?" again. So it doesn't develop from there.
I was
It's like,
EIE.
yeah, you say "E aí?" and then the person replies "E aí?" again. There's no answer. Like, it's weird.
Interesting. Interesting. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, it's a weird way, but EIE is something people use a lot. When they don't want to come, people don't come to you and say olá, como vai você? They usually come, e aí, beleza? Right?
E
So,
aí, beleza?
yeah. And then you say, e aí, beleza? And then it's beleza, e aí, and it doesn't develop, you know. But another way, and that's something I find it weird, that some people come and they say to you, tudo bem? And then instead of replying, actually, I come to the person and say tudo bem. And instead of replying, the person says tudo bem again. No, the person doesn't say tudo bem e você, like good and you. No, the person says um, this. The person's like replies with the question. Just repeats the question. Like you
And
ask you come to the person and ask, you all right? And then instead of the person saying yes and you, the person says you're all right back at you. You know,
Mandarin is the exact same way with their questions, though. Like that.
really.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, I know that the two languages have nothing to do with each other, but
Yeah.
that's that like they're like ni hao ma, which
Mm-hmm.
means are you good? And they'll
Mm-hmm.
respond ni hao without the ma. I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
And like that's just how it is.
that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. We tend to ask a lot of things just to be nice, and then people don't answer because they don't expect that they have this idea that they don't that you are not expecting them to answer. You're just being nice, so
Yeah.
they are just nice to you back by not trying to start a conversation. I don't know
Hmm.
if that makes sense, but
It makes
that's
some
what
sense.
yeah, that's how I feel we do here. Like, we are nice, but people are nice to us back. But their way of being nice is not trying to develop a conversation because they feel like you don't want to develop a conversation. You're just being nice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That makes sense.
yeah, but
People are
usually, sorry,
no, continue, continue.
yeah, usually it is like that. People are trying to be nice, just by for the sake of trying to be nice.
People are generally assholes here. They're like yeah, some of them are trying to be nice, but then there are others who just don't really care at all.
Mm. No, here I feel like it's the opposite. But of course, you have to be careful because there are some people who are just pretending to be nice to do something bad to you. That happens, of course.
Yeah.
But usually people are just nice, and that's it.
Lucky.
That-
So good.
yeah. Yeah, I think Brazilian people are really welcoming and
Hmm.
thoughtful about not about one another, but about foreigners. They tend to be like, I don't know why, but we are quite welcoming and heartwarming towards foreigners for some weird reason.
Damn those foreigners. Why are we so welcoming?
No, I mean, we're nice towards one
Yeah.
another, but towards foreigners, it's another level. It's a complete different level of being nice. I don't get it. It's okay. Now, not that I hate foreigners. No, I like them, but
Thank you.
uh,
Thank you. I appreciate
yeah, I like you. You know that, but. I don't know. I think people exaggerate here, right, with foreigners,
Yeah,
especially Americans. Just kidding.
just throwing that out
No,
there, especially Americans.
just kidding. No, it's not true. I haven't seen many Americans here, to be honest. In university, we have a lot of French and German. That's about it. Let me see. We also have people coming from South America, like Chile and Argentina. So
Yeah,
Americans we don't see very often. Actually, I don't. Where I live, I don't see many Americans.
yeah. That actually makes sense. I've been to university for. I'm a college dropout, so I was there for about a year, and
Hmm.
there were a lot of programs, but there weren't any in Brazil. There weren't any exchange programs for Brazil at the college that I was at. So
Yeah,
there might
it's
not be
kind
a
of
lot of
rare.
programs.
Yeah, it's kind of rare to have these exchange programs between the United States and Brazil. It's really rare. It is something you have to do on your own because your university doesn't provide you one. And but if you want to go to Europe, it's way easier to go to
Yeah,
Portugal, to go to France, to go to Germany. Yeah, that's more common around here. Okay, let me
yeah,
see.
that makes sense.
Any other expressions? I think I told you all the most useful expressions and idioms, slangs that we use here. Entendeu?
Okay.
Tá ligado? E aí? Let me see.
EIE. It's so funny to say. I love it.
Yeah. E aí is very common. And chacota is something that you use more on the internet. So we kind of have this um, separation between what we use on day by day conversations, like in person, right? And the ones
Mm.
that we use on the internet. So we have a lot of memes and stuff that we use on the internet. So chacota is one of them. We also have boy lixo, which is, uh, yeah, took the boy from English and put it together with lixo. So lixo is basically garbage. So when you say uh, somebody's a boy lixo, this boy is probably not a nice person because he is basically a garbage
Garbage.
boy, you know. So we
Is it
use this
boy spelled BOI?
boy.
Oh, okay. I was about to say I use BOI instead of BOY all the time
Really?
because
Why?
yeah, I don't know, like that's just something that we on my side of the internet we just kind of do.
Ah, okay.
We we do BOI and then BOIO for boyo, and
Okay.
it's a casual way of greeting somebody. I boyo, what's up?
Yeah, we have a lot of that here as well. But I think our slangs on the internet are almost the same for all parts of Brazil. But I guess there are differences, but I don't know. I don't talk to many people from different states, so I can't tell you that. I talk to people from my state, so on my state, things are this way, like I told you with EIE and boilish is something quite universal. Even even Dua Lipa, when she came to Brazil, Dua Lipa, the singer, Um, she's
No.
American, isn't she American?
Wait, who is it?
Dua Lipa.
Dua Lipa.
Yeah, isn't she American? I don't know, but
I don't know.
it's pop culture, American pop
How do you
culture.
spell her name? How do you spell her name?
Dualipa.
She's not American. She that
I don't
doesn't
know,
sound like an American spelling. I'm sorry.
but no, but she is a huge hit in America. She
I've
won.
never heard of her before.
She won a VMA, didn't she? EMA as well. VMA and EMA. So she's
I don't know what
famous.
either of those are.
Oh
I
my
don't know
God!
what those are.
Don't you watch MTV?
I
Jesus.
I watch YouTube. YouTube is my
Yeah.
television.
No, it's on MTV. Come on, you gotta catch up.
I
Just
don't.
kidding.
I'm not a
No,
true American. I'm sorry. I'm not American enough for
come
this.
on, American culture, pop culture. So
Come
Dua
on, it's
Lipa.
America.
So Dua Lipa came to Brazil and she started using boy lixo uh, on her conversations. Like because she wrote a song about a guy who, basically he was an asshole. So he was basically a
Yeah.
boy lixo. So she started using that expression when she was
Mm.
here.
That's really interesting, though. I love it when Americans take something from foreign cultures and just take it for themselves like that.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. There's no
No,
such
but
thing as cultural appropriation, guys. There's just no such thing at all.
no, but you know that Brazilians think it's amazing that she's using
Yeah,
this term, because it's our term, but now
yeah,
the famous singer, American singer, is using it. So
yeah.
we,
That's really cool.
so they tend to love it. That's why I tell you, in general, they're really nice. They're suckers for foreigners. Sorry, like
Great. Good to
they're
know.
using, yeah, they're using something that is from us, like theoretically. And nobody gets mad. They get excited like it's a good thing.
Hmm.
I
Good.
know. But there are probably more expressions, but my memory sucks. I should have written them down so that I could remember. Let
That's
me
okay.
see. Oh yeah, there is also, but that one is not common. Ah, okay. There are two more, but they are not as popular as they used to be right now, which are embuste.
Mbushi?
Embuste, embuste is this almost the same as boy lixo. They are you can use like if you don't like the guy, you can call him either a boy lixo or a embuste. Embuste,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Yeah, that
So
makes sense.
you can exchange. Also, you have the term ranço, which is when you don't like somebody, you say you have ranço for that person.
Hmm.
So you say, I don't like this person, um, eu tenho ranço dessa pessoa. It's basically that.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. I I'm lo-
Yeah, those terms,
I'm loving this. This is really good. This is really
I
good
know
stuff.
the terms don't make sense, but we use them more on the internet than on the everyday conversations. But I guess like on my social group, we use a lot. Like boy leash is something I use on a daily basis.
Mm.
And in boost is something that I used to use a lot, but right now I don't use it anymore. I use more boy lixo than in boost. And ranço, yeah, I think I use a lot of ranço still.
Uh,
Let me see. Yeah, those are the most popular terms. We even we have treta too. Treta,
Tretachu?
no, treta, only
Treta.
treta. Treta
Treta.
is something like when you argue with somebody, you say you
Mm-hmm.
had a treta with this person, like an
Treta.
argument.
An argument.
Yes.
Okay. Treta. It's an argument.
Yeah. So whenever you see a problem or something that is not going well, you say treta. That's a treta. It's uma treta. So it's a problem too. It's not only an argument, but it's also a problem. Something that's not going well.
Okay. Okay, let's change the subject from phrases to tell us a bit more about Brazilian life. What was it like growing up in Brazil?
It was very hot because Brazil is hot. So, I mean, I was born in a city, in a really hot city because it was by the sea shore. So, uh, in the seashore area, it is hot, like hotter than other areas. But where I live now is not that hot. It's actually the coldest city in almost the coldest city in Brazil, or it is among the coldest. So it's good. Um, Let me see what else
Mhm.
about Brazil. The internet. Actually, I started having access to internet back in let me see 2005, I guess. It was a really slow internet. And right now it's still slow, but back then it was slower, like 10 times slower.
Yeah.
Um, but the internet service is not that great. Um, what else? Yeah, growing up in Brazil, we basically have to learn a language in school. So usually is English, but there are some schools who give you the option of learning Spanish if you want. Um,
Okay.
I never picked Spanish. I don't like um, learning something that is so similar to Portuguese, so that's why I never picked Spanish. And
Time for
I
some Swahili.
always picked English. So from a very young age, I knew that I wanted to learn English because of
Yeah.
the kind of music I listened to, like emo music, like Simple Plan
Mhm.
and My Chemical Romance. So I was obsessed with those bands.
Good stuff.
So Good Charlotte as well. So that's basically how I first improved my English by listening to those bands and trying to keep up with the singing, like singing the lyrics. Um, Let me see. Yeah, so here you have to learn, in theory, you have to learn a language in school.
Yeah.
It can be English, it can be Spanish. Usually is English, but people usually don't speak English that well because
Yeah. There's
they,
not a lot of natives there, so it's kind of hard to
yeah,
practice it.
yeah, there's not a lot of exposure. Although um, the industry, like movie industry, music industry, is basically ruled by Americans. And here is no different. I mean, we have many Brazilian artists right now, like Anitta, which is the one you made a video about, and funk artists like Anitta, Ludmilla. We have
Hmm.
MC Kevinho. So they are all funk artists. They sing funk or funky, as we say here, because we don't say funk, we say funky, right? So this is funky
Okay.
music,
Interesting.
right? But we consume a lot of American content. like Dua Lipa, right? I don't know if she's American. I'm going to look that up. And I don't know who else. Beyonce, those
Beyonce,
top
yeah,
artists. Yeah, like
I've heard of
Lady
her. I
Gaga.
know who that is.
Oh, good, right?
I'm not completely clueless. I know who Lady Gaga is.
So yeah, we have many people love Beyonce and Lady Gaga, and let me see. Yeah, those artists. They are very
Yeah.
popular around here. Shawn Mendes. Um,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know who
Both
he is,
my
right?
my past like five exes have all been obsessed with Shawn Mendes. So I mean, they just like people just love Shawn Mendes for some reason.
Yeah, I love him too. Oh, yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, I love him too, but I'm not obsessed with him.
Okay,
It's just
right.
I just that he's cute and he sings well. So
He does. I must admit, Shawn Mendes makes a really good song. Like,
yeah,
I think he's a little overrated, but he makes really good music at the same time.
yeah.
That I mean, I've actually like searched for his songs before on the internet, so
So
that's like saying something because I normally don't search for people's songs unless I
see,
really like.
I like him and he's very popular. So his tickets sold out in like 24 hours
Of
here.
course.
Because people love him, especially girls, of course. And Ed Sheeran is very popular too.
Oh my God, I love Ed Sheeran so
Yeah,
much.
he's
I have pronounced his name Ed Sheeran for the longest time before somebody was like, no, that's not at all how to pronounce it.
yeah. No, I've always pronounced Sheeran, I guess. But
I'm pretty sure that's the correct way. I'm pretty sure it is.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure mine is definitely the wrong way.
we even like on my inner circle, like we had a joke. We called him Shirley because Shirley is a Brazilian name, right? And because it's Sheeran, it's when it's pronounced really fast, it sounds like Shirley. So it's funny. It was funny at the time. Let me see. Okay, growing up in Brazil, yeah, we learn English. We consume American content more than British one. Way more. Like British is not that popular. Only among indie people, like people that listen to indie songs, indie music,
Yeah,
like Arctic Monkeys and
I love Arctic Monkeys so
yeah,
much.
Arctic
I love
Monkeys,
them.
Franz Ferdinand, and those kind of bands. I like
Yeah,
Arctic Monkeys, but I used to be obsessed with them, but right now I'm fine. I don't
yeah,
like them as much
yeah.
anymore.
I feel that. I feel that.
Especially their latest album, I don't think it's that good. But it's okay. So yeah, I think that's it about Brazil. There's not a lot of interesting things I can remember right now. Um, Internet and then sun and then beaches. Oh yeah, people don't listen to funky and samba all the time. Right? So that's something that is important to clear out because people consume a lot of American songs,
Do you guys like Bruno Mars
artists.
then? I feel like
Yeah,
he's the epitome of funky.
yeah. Bruno Mars is really popular, like crazy popular. There was a time in which you couldn't enter a store without listening to Bruno Mars on the radio. It was everywhere. Yeah, so
Oh man, that I mean it makes sense. Like if you're thinking of funk as an archetype, the Bruno
hmm
Mars is the modern day version of funk. Like he's just there. He's in
it's
your face.
true.
He's great.
It's true, but Brazilian funk is not the same kind of funk that Bruno Mars does. It's something totally different. It's something like what Anita does on that video you reacted to. That is funky, like
That's
something that,
fun.
yeah, it's funky. There is a difference between funk and funky because funk is Brazilian. Like, it's truly Brazilian. Anitta, MC Kevinho, they are funky, like not in the
Okay.
same way Bruno Mars is, but they are. So here in Brazil, funky is a different genre. So when you hear funk, you tend to think it's the same thing, but it's not.
You're gonna have to send me some people that you think are funky, and that way
Okay.
I know I know what like how like what you guys would define as funky. Because
Yeah.
I feel like it's hard to contextualize what a genre is without it getting a really good
Yeah.
sample of what that would be.
It is. Uh, but once you hear it, you have a great idea of what it is. Like, if you watch like 3 music videos, you already get what funk is all about. It's really easy to understand. But usually, this is the sound, they say this is the sound that comes from the favelas, right? It's something that
Yeah.
plays a lot in the favelas. Usually, people that uh, sing funky, that make those video clips, they make it in the favelas, and they are from the favelas, like they come
Hmm.
from the favelas. So it's something that traditionally comes from there. Um, but it comes from other places as well. But it's something that I believe started in the favelas.
Okay. And what are the favelas? No, wait a second, wait a second. The favelas are like neighborhoods in cities.
Yeah, but it's like the
Ah,
suburb.
yeah.
But it's like the
Okay. Okay.
suburb.
Yeah.
The usually people are quite prejudiced against favelas because those are communities. A lot of people live there, and usually favelas grow in big cities. So in Rio, you have a lot of favelas. Um,
I've
in,
heard comparisons that favelas are similar to American ghettos.
yes, they
In
are.
mm,
They are, and sometimes there are violence in the favelas, but it's not something that necessarily that is true for every favela. So people tend to be prejudiced towards people that say they come from the favelas usually, because here in Brazil there are some quite elitist people that feel like they are superior based on being rich or something. So
yeah.
that's an issue. Those people that think that way, they are prejudiced towards people that come from favelas. But nowadays, I'd say that the music in Brazil, the successful artists, they all come from the favelas. They either come from the favelas or they are inspired by the artists that come from the favelas.
Hmm. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Uh, um, we don't have a lot of time left, so what would you like? Where would you recommend going if a tourist were to go to Brazil? I mean, besides your place, of course.
Oh yeah, I love Rio. Right, I live in Curitiba, but I visited Rio last month, I think, and it was my third time there. And Rio is beautiful. You have a lot of places to visit, to go sightseeing. Like you have Christ the Redeemer, you have the sugar loaf. I don't know if that's the name in English. So you have Cristo Redentor and Pão de Açúcar. Pão de Açúcar is beautiful. It's a mountain, right? And you can even hike like go on foot to the top of the mountain, or you can take the bondinho, which I really don't know how to translate that to English. Something that goes from one mountain to another.
I don't know. I've never been to the mountains.
It moves by wires.
Oh,
Similar.
tram. I
Yeah,
think
it's
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 it, it's what they have on ski slopes, isn't it?
yes. Mm-hmm.
I know what you're
That's
talking
it.
about, but I can't think of the name for that. That's
Yeah.
not like common lingo here, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's that thing. So you can take that, and you can take pictures. It's quite nice because you can see the whole city from there, from the top of the mountain. Um, you also have a lot of museums to visit in Rio,
Hmm.
like Museu da Manhã, which is something like Tomorrow Museum. Right? It's a weird name, even in Portuguese, Museu do Amanhã. But it's a nice place to visit. And you have Lapa, Arcos da Lapa. So basically, Rio is. It's corny because everybody thinks of Rio whenever they think of Brazil. But Rio is beautiful. I don't know many places around Brazil. I know São Paulo, I know Rio, but São Paulo is not as beautiful as Rio, in my opinion.
Okay. All right. I will add Rio to my list because everybody keeps recommending it as the go-to spot.
Yeah,
So yeah, sounds good.
that's why people think Rio is the capital of Brazil when it actually isn't. Because whenever people talk about Brazil, they talk about Rio. So,
Yeah,
right.
that makes sense.
But it's
Well,
nice.
I really appreciate having you on, Paula.
Yay!
Paula,
Now you
Paula.
pronounced it correctly.
It only took an entire 2 months and me video chatting you today to finally get your name right. But how do
Oh
you
yeah,
say your last name? Machado?
Machado.
Machado.
Yeah,
Paula Machado.
yeah. That's actually my middle name, my last name. Actually, my full name is Paola Machado da Silva. So Silva is pretty common. I think it's easy to pronounce. But
It's da Silva?
yeah. Mhm.
Da Silva. So
Mhm.
Paula Machado da Silva.
Mhm.
Okay,
You got it right.
perfect. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
We'll remember, hopefully.
Finally. Yay.
Took so long. God
Oh,
dang
it did. It did. Just kidding.
it.
I know it's hard to pronounce my name. People tend to think it's Paula, right? Paula. And I think it's easier for you Americans to say Paula.
I will not use Paula again, though. I'll use Paula. Now that
It's
now that
okay.
it's ingrained, now that it's in there, it's gonna stay.
Okay. No, but it's no problem. I had teachers calling me Paula, so and they never got it right. So whenever they did the roll call, I had to answer to Paula, although I didn't recognize the name.
That's
I
not
was
my
like,
name, but I guess I'll respond to it.
yeah, like every time they called it, I was like, oh, that's me, right? So I'll just answer, but it took a while.
That's okay. All right, it was great having you on. Thank you so much for being on. Uh, Gucci Gooblers, if you like this video, make sure to like this video. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like, honestly, if you haven't subscribed, what are you even doing with your life? I mean, I am your life now. Now that you have seen me, I am your life. Make sure to share this video And yeah, share it to all your social media sites so then I can get more subscribers and I can become their lives too. Obviously. All right. Have a wonderful day. Uh Ciao.
Ciao.
It's Italian, dang it. Uh, grr. I'll learn Portuguese one of these days. I'll get it right.
Don't worry about it.
Bye, guys.